Wearing designer doesn't automatically equal having style.
Some people will dress head to toe in designer things and think that their outfit looks good and that they have a good sense of style.
Like, we're all programmed to think just because it costs like 10K, it's cute and it's like valid, of good quality.
That Versace look, rent-free my mind. It is squatting in my brain and it will never leave. I'd rather just burn the house down. It's not good. It's awful.
Let's get one thing straight. Wearing luxury doesn't automatically make you stylish. You can spend £10,000 on an outfit and still look like you got dressed in the dark. Style is not sold in boutiques. It's not about the logo, the hype, or the price tag. Real fashion is about taste, fit, confidence, and knowing who you are. And so in today's video, we're going to deep dive into how luxury doesn't equal style and what you can do to look elevated on any budget. There seems to be this myth in luxury fashion that if you buy something that is designer or luxury branded, that it automatically makes you stylish. And as somebody who enjoys luxury fashion, I have had this whispered to me a couple of times. Something along the lines of, just because it costs lots of money doesn't mean it's not ugly. And I agree. Okay, I agree. I think sometimes people have the illusion that just because you shop luxury, that you are dumb.
If you spend your money on designer clothes, you're an idiot and you're getting scammed. It blows my mind to think people literally save up their wages to buy some shit like this to try to look rich.
And of course, people spend their money in different ways for different reasons. I do enjoy some luxury, but ultimately what I love most is fashion and style. And so I'm sure we've all been there and seen the person who has like head to toe logos, who I'm sure is feeling really, really great, but probably doesn't look, in our opinion, as great as they might think they do. I think it's really easy to believe that if you buy a clothing item that costs more, that it somehow is going to make you look better, and that is definitely not always the case. Actually, it's very rarely the case. I think this has a lot to do with marketing and branding and the use of celebrities and influencers, right? I think there are many luxury houses who use celebrities and influencers to market their brand and promote their brand, which makes sense. However, I think because celebrities and influencers are usually in a more aspirational position, I'd say we're probably seeing the death of like Hollywood glamour, especially with the rise of social media.
Some of y'all are not gonna like this one, but celebrity worship is a form of psychosis. Why are you idolizing people that would genuinely step over your dead body? Stop.
But, you know, celebrities are positioned as people who are overly successful, sometimes overly talented. And so the general public tend to be quite interested in what they're wearing, how they're wearing it, who they're wearing, where they're going, all of those things. And I think luxury brands actually do quite a good job at tapping into that influence that they have and then dress them. And maybe as a result of socialization, we kind of look up to them for our styling cues, right? So you look at best dressed celebrity, and some people tend to be interested in maybe mimicking those styles so that they can also look like the celebrity does. So for a lot of celebrities and influencers, they're wearing head to toe, insert designer or luxury brand, right? So they might have a t-shirt on and a pair of jeans, and in the credits it will say, I don't know, t-shirt, Balenciaga, jeans, Louis Vuitton, right? So now, as a consumer of that content or the viewer of that picture, you're like, well, I need the Balenciaga t-shirt and the Louis Vuitton jeans so that I can look as good and stylish as that particular celebrity. And it's just not true.
Copying your favorite influencer's outfit or buying something from their storefront is not going to help you own your personal style, because to begin with, you guys could have different body types, so what works for them may not work for you and your confidence. And also, you might like their taste, their aesthetic, but that does not mean that it's your taste.
I would argue that all celebrities have brands and they use styling to speak to their brand or give out a message that they want their brand to give out. And they do that usually by working closely with a luxury or designer brand. And that is partly because that relationship is mutually beneficial. You wear some Chanel, Chanel gets a bit of promo, and you also get to be aligned with Chanel, and maybe get to build a relationship with Chanel. So there you are in a picture in a Chanel dress. But as we see all the time, there are many celebrities that get on red carpets, maybe wearing a designer brand, but look terrible. Okay, so celebrities can not look great in designer, and so can your everyday man not look good in designer. And so I think if you're interested in looking your best and you want to present yourself well, and maybe you're interested in picking up a few luxury pieces to add to your wardrobe, I think it's really important to understand that anything you buy doesn't automatically make you look great. It's all about what you do with what you pick up, as it would be for any more affordable clothing item you buy.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but you don't have to have expensive clothes to feel stylish. Style goes far beyond brand names. It's about how you wear your clothes and, more importantly, how they make you feel.
I also think luxury brands really tap into the idea of exclusivity, and there are some more everyday people who want to kind of fit into that category and maybe perceive celebrities and influencers to be more exclusive individuals who are in more exclusive environments. And so in order to be in those kind of environments, you have to kind of mimic their styling, or you have to buy from the designers they are wearing and wear the kind of things that they are wearing. However, that's also not true. And if you are somebody who wants to seem more exclusive, you can definitely do that even without wearing any luxury brands at all. I definitely think that sometimes there's a disconnect between what the everyday person assumes celebrity or influencer positioning to be and what it actually is. They are actually brands. So it would be like if Apple, you know, the Apple brand was a person. What clothing would the Apple brand person wear? What colors would they wear? What kind of designers would they wear? Because they're trying to present their brand. And so I think sometimes using celebrities or using influencers as reference points for your particular everyday styling can really put you in a pickle. What actually makes someone stylish really comes down to fit, personal identity, confidence, and the effective use of color.
And like, I'll expose myself. This is something I struggle with. I feel like just because I have this new Chanel bag, like I'm gonna be the epitome of fashion. When in reality, I actually am struggling to find my fashion identity every day. And like, I see these influencers that are just unboxing like Miu Miu bag, like Chanel bag. And I'm like, is this actually cute or is it just designer?
I do believe that luxury items can really enhance your wardrobe when they are used intentionally. And I think a lot of it has to do with making decisions about how you want to present yourself on a day-by-day basis, right? So for some, they may argue that the overuse of logos is just unnecessary. However, I definitely think that there are times and occasions where the use of logos or the overuse of logos is appropriate. It depends on what I want to say with how I look. So for example, if I'm going to the Louis Vuitton Spring Summer 2027 women's wear fashion show, it's absolutely appropriate for me to wear head to toe Louis Vuitton. Okay, it's appropriate, it makes sense. Right? If I'm a recording artist and my styling is very whimsical, okay, very feminine, I lean very much into like, think Betty Boop, right? I'm a singer and I like to dress like her, right? Wearing Valentino, head to toe Valentino makes sense. Especially if I'm on the stage, I'm gonna want something that stands out. Maybe wearing a dress that has a Valentino logo running down the side of it makes sense on a stage where the crowd are not all close up and I want them to see some of the details and all this kind of stuff. I think that there is a time and a place for everything. And what's most important about your styling, even if you are somebody who shops luxury or not, is that you're thinking about what messaging are you trying to give. So my general style tends to be, I'd say classic with like a drop of an edge. You might even consider me to be a bit boring, right, with my styling. I really like tailoring. I really like shapes. I like quite feminine styling. I like styling that fits into these kind of categories. So when I'm shopping luxury or high street, I'm looking for items that fit into this kind of category. It might make a bit more sense for me to spend a bit of extra money on a Vivienne Westwood corset because that's my vibe. I love corsets, right? And I know I'm going to get good use out of them. I think people are most stylish when they really make good use of all brands by ensuring that it speaks to their personal style. And usually this is best executed by really having a mix of high and low.
But having a good sense of style has nothing to do with wearing designers, and it has everything to do with whether or not you can style pieces together and make them complement each other and make them complement you.
I think it's normal to have a few standout pieces that you probably don't wear super often, that you can go to for special occasions or for particular types of events. I think that makes sense, but I think committing yourself to buying as much luxury as you can or as much designer as you can because you think putting it on makes you look more stylish is a bit short-sighted. It definitely doesn't. Actually, I've seen many occasions where it absolutely looks ridiculous, guys. And I think with the rise of so many super fakes and so many realistic looking dupes, it can actually end up looking cheap, which is really unfortunate, especially when you're spending loads and loads of money on all the things that you're wearing. I actually think that men fall victim to this more than women because, you know, men's fashion can be a bit boring, and so I think sometimes they lean into like brand designer everything and end up with like a Gucci shirt with a Louis Vuitton belt and Prada jeans and Valentino trainers, when really it doesn't make any difference. They still kind of look as dry as they would if none of it was designer, and actually they'd probably look more expensive if they sort out maybe more unusual cuts in their shirts or unusual fit of trousers, or tried out maybe wearing a different type of trainer, you know, just maybe wear a bit more creative. And so I think it's really important to just ask yourself the question, like, am I buying this because I think it's cute or because I really have a way to style it, I really enjoy it, or am I wearing it because I think that everybody else knows that what I'm wearing costs lots of money?
There's a difference between buying something just because it has a label or because it's expensive versus having actual taste and being able to pick out an outfit with a vision in mind and make something from nothing. You can be in a designer outfit from head to toe and still not look cute.
I'd encourage you guys to experiment and really just try to shop intentionally. Let me know what you think about designer fashion. Do you think it automatically makes you stylish? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.